Welcome back to Real Relatable. I'm your host, Donna Polk, here with a very exciting guest. First time on the podcast, at least about 3.5, almost 4 years of friendship.
Yeah.
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 And here to give us the male perspective and speak for all men everywhere.
Absolutely not.
I'm just kidding. But everybody, welcome my friend Hill to the podcast. Yay.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for agreeing to come on.
Yeah. Well, you talked me into it. You're very convincing.
I am a saleswoman.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah, you're very good at what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, I just wanted to get like the male perspective of dating and relationships and stuff like that, because obviously I'm a woman and I've, had my podcast for a while and I haven't exactly had the male perspective of dating and relationships. And so I figured it would be good to get your perspective. Yeah. And because we've talked about it like separately,
Yes.
like we've had our times of like both being in a relationship, both dating, seeing people, our singlehood and all of that. So I'm like, why don't we just have this conversation that we usually have over the phone or over text, as I'm rage texting you about someone, and bring that here.
Yeah, for sure. I know we talk a lot, like together, and typically and I have my friends or my core people that I talk to about it. But yeah, this is gonna be different. Sharing like my insight, perspective about relationship. Usually, I don't share as much, but yeah, I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Well, you share what you're comfortable with, and I'll edit out whatever you don't want in there.
I'll share it all.
You'll share it all.
Yeah,
okay, I like it.
Not?
Same, right? So on the podcast recently, I had a couple friends on, my friend Laura and Amanda, and we were talking about like the 3 L's and the 3 A's of dating and relationships. So according to this relationship expert, Sadia Khan, so she says that for men, they need to have the 3 L's from women. So that's loyalty, lust, and labor. So they need to have a loyal partner. They need to have a partner that they lust for. And then they also have to have a partner that they can do something for.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for women, it's the 3 A's. So 1A being attraction, another being adoration, and another being admiration. So obviously attraction to your partner.
Yeah.
Adoration being you get adoration for them, so you feel, the adoration and feel like they appreciate you and all of that. And then admiration, you admire who they are as a person. So in our discussions, I thought it made sense. It definitely made sense, at least from the woman's perspective of what I lovingly call the LALALA.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And so I need to know your perspective from a man. Like, do you think labor, lust, and loyalty are some 3 key factors, part of the key factors for a successful relationship?
I think in general, yes. Loyalty for sure. And I'll speak for myself, like loyalty over love. That's where I find love, is loyalty. So
tell me more.
So loyalty for me is it's not agreeing with me all the time. I don't want someone to agree with me all the time. I want someone that is going to be, I guess, slow to anger. Is going to be understanding. Is going to be supportive, and that I can, when I get to that space, like be vulnerable, especially for me. Like I got walls, and I know I have walls, and I've tried to like let them down at different times with, in different relationships, and sometimes it's just like, man, why did I even go there, or why did I try? But in every situation, I think I've tried to do it in some capacity. But loyalty is them just understanding where I'm coming from, like hearing what I'm saying and not internalizing it, because I don't mean it as an attack. I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
So then, if you need more understanding, just ask for more information. I'm happy to give it, and it's not always an attack. It's just like, hey, this is probably something I'm dealing with right now. And this is where I would need help at, support.
Yeah.
And not like just at an opportunistic time, like for you to just like then turn.
Oh, lay in and you.
Yeah.
And
And
you're
so,
being vulnerable.
right.
That makes sense.
Right. So, because I think while I think the word love gets thrown around a lot, I think love is, there's levels to love. Mm-hmm. And the more you get to know someone, over the years, you're going to have a sense of loyalty to them. Yeah. You're like, look, I got their back. Mm-hmm. Even if you hear somebody talking about them, mm-hmm. You're going to be like, hey, I'm not trying to stir the pot.
Yeah.
But I just want to give you this piece of information.
Yeah.
This is what I heard, just want to let you know. Or you probably step in and say something.
Yeah.
To, and stand up for them. Like, hey, that's my friend. Yeah. So-and-so, and, let's not do that. Mm-hmm. So loyalty for me, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a foundational piece for me in every relationship.
Yeah.
Whether it's an intimate relationship or whatever. It's hands down number one for me.
I appreciate the way that you mentioned, like, when someone's behind your back, not that they're saying something behind your back, but if you're not there, but you have that person that's advocating for you when you're not in the room, and that's huge for loyalty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Tell me about lust.
It's the first thing, right?
Yeah. That's kind of low-hanging fruit, get it? Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about, like, personality, and sure, yes. We get it.
Yeah.
But the first thing you notice is the physical attraction. It's the first thing that stands out.
Yeah.
It's like, that person, looks good. Mm-hmm. I'm going to approach him. I want to talk to him or whatever. Or, like, let me figure out a way to get an introduction or something. Mm-hmm. It's the first thing. So, lust is it's an intense attraction. Mm-hmm. That's how I kind of view it. I think for me now, as I gotten older, the physical part of it, lust for me now, it's both the physical and that personality piece.
Yeah. It intensifies it. No?
Yeah. Because it's just like, all right, that person looks good, but there's no depth. We don't connect. Yeah. There's no, or it feels forced.
Yeah.
But like, once you you find that spark, and then you can go deep. You can have serious conversations, but then you can jump out of that and you can be playful.
Yeah.
You can banter. Mm-hmm. Like you can do all these different things. Like then that's where like the lust comes in. It's like now I want to spend time around you.
Yeah.
Like I want to be around you more. Yeah. And for me to get to that space, man, because I love my alone time. I'll tell you. I'm good being alone.
Yeah.
But so if I'm like, I want to be around this person, I want this person in my space all the time, like, yeah, for sure. So yeah, for me, I think as you get older, like lust changes. Mm-hmm. In my 20s, lust was just purely physical.
Yeah, and it's more fleeting. It's not sustainable to have that kind of lust.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then, you think about the places that you're, typically where 20-year-olds are going, right? Like, it's just like, we're going to the bar, like, it's just quick. It's like bam, bam, bam. And, but I would say, lust now, I need that emotional piece as well as, like, the physical. But the physical definitely matters.
Yeah.
I don't care, like, it's always going to matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about Love is Blind.
Yeah.
That was our show to, like, totally dive into when we're like, okay, so you cast all these like beautiful people, and at some point they're gonna have to meet if they have fallen in love enough, and we've seen it happen where some people then flip a switch and they're like, actually, I don't have that attraction to you anymore or that lust for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect like example. Love is Blind. Mm-hmm. But then they also they cast just all attractive people.
Right.
So it's going to be hard not to be attracted to your partner.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of skewed or whatever. But lust, I agree. Like it's important.
Yeah. And lastly, labor. This is something that I'm very curious about from a male's perspective on the labor piece.
I think that part is societal influence is so big.
Yeah.
And for me, it is important. Like I want now I want to provide for my partner.
Yeah.
I want to be there to feel like I'm doing something for her, that protector. I think there's definitely some gender specific roles that I 100% agree with.
What are those?
Just the male being that provider, being that protector.
Yeah. Provider financially. Financially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both, but I understand that every household is different. People do it different, and it works. But yeah, I would want to be that financial support. But if my partner wants to go out and work, yeah, do you?
Yeah.
I want you to also be happy.
Yeah.
Find your happiness as well. So I think it's tricky these days.
Yeah.
To kind of define some of those or have some of those gender roles kind of be gender specific. But because people will just push back on stuff. But labor is definitely it's just I want to show up for you. I want to be that pillar. Somebody that you can lean on.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of it too, I want you to be someone that I can lean on when I'm tired.
Yeah.
And not tired as physically tired, but it's just I just need a rest. I need to come home and just feel safe because I'm out in the world facing stuff, right? Different things all the time. My home is where I should feel safe.
Yeah.
Where I can let down my guard and, and just create an atmosphere with me and my partner to where we're just, we're good.
Yeah. Your home is a safe space for everybody, basically.
Yeah.
I get that.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So the labor part is interesting to me because what I do for work, I've always been that person that's a go-getter, right? I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do the things and I can take care of myself. But I do find myself, of course, wanting to have a partner and someone that I too can lean on, right? I can do it by myself, but that doesn't mean I want to.
Right.
That doesn't mean I should.
Yeah.
And so I wonder sometimes this kind of goes back to labor, but then also maybe a little bit of the less part of it. And I'll kind of tie them together here. So basically, if I can take care of everything on my own, and it's not that I don't want somebody else, but I need to know that I can safely rely on somebody else, right? And from the less perspective, it's to me that if a man can do more for a woman, that also possibly adds to the desire that he has for her because he can do something for her and she's grateful and she's so happy and she feels like a queen and she's taken care of. So then subsequently her softness comes out more.
Right.
And that may be more attractive to a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so from my perspective, I know my person's out there, right? They are going to accept me just as I am. I don't have to make myself smaller and whatever. Right. But I do wonder if is it true and this is, again, you're speaking for all men. So is it true that men may be intimidated by someone like me?
Is it true that men? No. Is it true that some men? Yes. The right man? No.
Right.
But going back to labor and doing, is it? I don't think it's always financial.
Yeah.
I think that's where people get wrapped up or get stuck.
That's fair. Yeah.
To where it's just always financial. the emotional is just, it's probably more important.
Yeah.
You know, like money comes and goes. Like, yo, like, I mean, you know, I remember growing up, right, as a kid, and some of my best memories with my family was when we were broke. And some of the best time that I seen my mom and my dad like having their marriage was when we was broke.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah.
Because like you just like you ain't got no money, you ain't got
Yeah,
hey,
maybe
man,
a bit
you
more carefree.
Figure out you
Yeah.
figure out other ways to like really kind of, you know, keep that camaraderie, keep that family like you know, togetherness. So the emotional piece, I think it's, you know, like grown, like we were broke, and then things got good. Things got really good. You know, so and then it got bad again, and then it got good. So it's just like it goes in waves, right? And so because money can come and go, it can't just be a financial thing. Yeah, that emotional piece has to be, you know, a bigger thing to me because, like, we all have stuff.
Yeah.
We all have baggage. We all have experiences. You know, that person, when you start dating and in that beginning, you ain't going to see all of the cracks,
Yeah.
you know, because infatuation is there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're glazed over. You're just like, oh, this person's new car smell. Like, you feel good. Everything is great. And then, you know, it wears off. And then it's like, all right, now we got to, like, really put some work in. Now you're in my space, and I'm grumpy today. And I really don't want you here.
Yeah.
You know, but so the emotional part is just like, all right, I recognize that you're grumpy right now. You know, what do you need from me?
Yeah.
Just even that question.
Yeah.
You come home from work, right? You've been grinding all day. You a go-getter, right? And that man is at home. He got home just a little bit before you, or he may not have worked that day. What do you need from me right now? I can tell something's wrong. Do you need to talk? You need me? You need some food? Food always work. Man, feed that woman every time, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just, you know, I think that part is really important. But no, I don't think all men are intimidated, and the right man wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But you do have some men that would be intimidated for sure. But that's them.
Yeah.
And their issue.
Yeah.
It's not your issue.
I don't feel like it's a me issue.
Yeah.
As much as I have been, I don't want to say struggling. It's like I've been rejected enough, but I also can appreciate that rejection because I do realize like these people were not actually for me. And I do recognize that the person that is for me won't be intimidated.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where you're like, damn, like,
Yeah.
all right, well, you know, it can be tough, right?
Yeah.
Like it can be really tough. So that's
Do people tell you it's a you issue? Do they like
no?
try
It's
to point
more
finger?
so no.
Okay.
They don't
Okay.
point a finger. It's more so like someone saying, and this is my bow out, frankly, when they say, "Oh, I can't believe that you're, you know, like you picked me to go out on a date with, or you're hanging out with me," and I'm like, all right, you know, this is probably the last time that I'm going to see you. Because to me, that's them saying, like, I will mess this up. And this is me saying I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
But I want you to know I'm not good enough, but you're here with me, and that's cool. And
Right.
that is just not, like, the intention is probably to be somewhat flattering, but realistically, to me, that comes off as insecure. And because I've seen it. I've seen it manifest itself in various ways, and that is frustrating. And that does not make me softer. It makes me more masculine, as I typically am all day, every day, because of the nature of my work. So I don't want to be in that place, but I feel forced to be in that place because I have this person who can't come to task, so that it, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make me feel like I can be safe and soft and more vulnerable and more like gushy and whatever.
Yeah.
My wall goes up again.
Right. Yeah. But I totally understand that, and I get it. Like, yeah, somebody putting you on a pedestal is like, hey, Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that.
Right. Like, we're all here. Like, we
Yeah.
all chose to be here.
Yeah.
And that means we like each other enough to have arrived at the same time
Right.
and been here
Right.
together and spend
Yeah.
whatever time together.
Right.
So,
For sure. Okay. Yeah. I totally get that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Question for you. So then, do you agree with the three L's, and how do you define them?
So for women, it's the three A's. So the attraction. Oh, do I agree with them for men?
Yes. Do you agree with the three L's for men?
I do. It made sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny, we talked about that on the episode as well, where I've not gotten all three L's. I've gotten like part of them, right? Like even from my marriage or from certain relationships where, sure, there's lust, right? Like that, the low-hanging fruit kind of lust.
Right.
And then there's loyalty, because I'm a loyal person, right? Like if I'm with you, I'm with you, and until I'm not, because then I'll,
Yeah.
And for labor, that's what I wonder is, does the lust fade because they find me attractive, but they can't do things for me in the same way? And part of that, I think of like the emotional intelligence. Like you and I have talked about this a bit, where there is quite the gap from, generally speaking, men to women. But then from your level and my level of emotional intelligence, we end up with partners who are lacking in that space, right?
Yeah.
And so actually recently, it was just the other day, I did this like, not personality test, but kind of. And a portion of that test came back to say that, in so many words, I will struggle with maintaining relationships with people, because I am very growth-minded, and most people are not. Like they grow, they grow in time and whatever, but it's almost like, I don't want to say like left behind, that sounds bad, but you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm constantly on the forward trajectory, like, okay, we're going, like, we're getting better, we're improving, and meanwhile, like, they're back there.
Yeah.
And that kind of rang true. It stung, but it rang true for my ability to maintain romantic relationships.
For sure. Yeah. You're seeking growth.
Yeah.
They're being forced to grow because of like just years and experience.
Yes.
So time is just pushing them forward, so they have to grow.
Right.
Because everyone has to grow.
Right.
Yeah. But you're like, no, I want to. I want this. Yeah. Do I resonate with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, we can talk about it. We don't have to name names, but I think you're thinking about somebody and I'm thinking about somebody, and it was about the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I've just heard that, I'm too intense.
Yeah.
I come off arrogant, and it's like, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I just want communication.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, for me, like, there was definitely a shift to where I grew up just arguing, right? Like, anger and arguing was like just a part of like my foundational, upbringing as a kid, and both of them, it took a long time to like realize I didn't want to participate with either of them anymore. I didn't want them in my life. I don't want to do it. Now, will I do it at times? Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
But it's not something. It's not my go-to anymore. My go-to now is just communication, and I want to communicate, and I want to grow, and I want to understand people just as much as I want to be understood. And so it's not that sometimes comes off as I share like how I feel about things, and as I'm communicating, it comes off as if I'm just being probably too intense, or
like attacking the other
or
person.
I'm attacking them, and I'm like, no, like you're totally missing it, and I'm like, and I will in that moment even apologize, and at times, and it's still sometimes not good enough. Right. So then I realize, I'm like, okay, like this is not about me right now. I'm probably reminding them of a similar situation that went a completely different way.
Right.
And sometimes they come back and share, sometimes they don't. Like, I don't always know. But it's, I was I was telling my brother the other day, I'm like, for the rest of my life, like, I'm going to grow. Like, and I'm always just trying to be a better version of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, if someone that meets me like 2-3 months ago, I promise you I'm not the same person.
Right.
I can tell you that. Like, I can promise you that. Like, I just won't be anymore.
Right.
Because I am forever now, like, a proponent of growing. You know, like you said, that growth mindset. So, because that's the case with me, like, you know, like you said, it's not like a left behind or I'm better than you.
Right.
But it's just that this is just something that I'm locked in on and I'm focused on. And you don't necessarily need to be a part of it. That's okay. But just know, like, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And that's okay if you don't want to do this. Like, life will push you along at your pace.
And I won't be there.
Yeah, I'm just running. We're just running two different races,
Yeah.
and I'm completely fine staying in my lane and running my race.
Yeah.
But that's what I want. And then once you do that, you'll find that people gravitate towards you, and then you'll find those foundational people that stick around, and they're doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
They cut from that same cloth, or they just they found that same whatever it was, that spark that said, "Yep, I'm forever now doing this," and that's what I'm starting to find. And so like you said, like eventually, that partner will find me. You know, that partner will find us, and it's just like, all right, boom, and now we can do that together. You know, and it's nice to do stuff together, right? Camaraderie is great. You know, I enjoy like being alone, but like, you know, there's times I'm like, oh man, I wish I was, you know, I had somebody next to me or whatever and stuff like that. So, you know, but
I think that is, I mean, it's an non-negotiable for me, to be honest. Like, you know, somebody has to have done the work, continues to do work in various ways. And it's not always like, you don't always have to be active in therapy.
Yeah.
But do you maybe listen to like books or read books or listen to podcasts or have like a group that you're part of, or what's your community like? You know, do you have friends, family that can support you and give you good advice, good sound advice, right? Like all of that's really important. I recently went on a date with this guy, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so, and I didn't realize when we had matched on Hinge and, you know, set up a date and everything that there was going to be a language barrier.
Oh.
And for those listening, they should know at this point, I speak English and Spanish. This man spoke Russian.
Oh.
I don't know, look at Russian. Okay? So
Google Translate.
No. No, I mean, I could, but like for what? Like, am I that interested? So we get to the date, and then I hear the language barrier, and I'm like, oh, okay. So this, most of the time, it was the funniest or most comical part of the date was because he was trying to express himself. I'm trying to understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
And we're at this like standstill, like, you know? So anyway, and something that could have been worth it, regardless of the language barrier, because that could be there, right? Like you figure it out. Like if it's worth it, you'll figure it out.
For sure.
But he's been in the U.S. for like 4 years, doesn't have many friends. It's like his coworkers, family's not here, not many hobbies. If it's like going to the gym and maybe sometimes going skateboarding or something like that. And
right.
I'm like, okay, well, like, what do you do with your friends? Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't really see them, you know, stuff like that. And to me, that tells me that I would be the person in his life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want you to be like, yeah, you're my person, not the person. Gotcha. I want to know you have other people to opine with and to chat with and to hang out with and do things. But meanwhile, like, if you don't have like much community, because that's so important to me. I've got my friends, I got my hobbies, I have my family, like I have all of that, and I feel really good about that. I can't, and maybe, I don't know if this like sounds bad, but I just don't feel comfortable thinking I would possibly enter in a relationship or life with somebody who doesn't have anybody else, really. Right. You know, like not a core group of people.
I mean, it'll be hard because then activities that you may want to do with you and your friends. Or, well, can I come? Can I be a part of? And
That or yeah.
yeah, yeah, or yeah. See, I don't even know because I've always had a good core.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of my friends I've known them since second grade.
Yeah.
You know,
Same.
so
Yeah.
so I've always had a good core.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and like you said, I mean, I want like sound advice,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from my friends, and you know, I hadn't seen my therapist in a few months, because I said, you know what, like I've done so much work, and I want to practice all this stuff, so I want to like, you know, and then one of the things I did was I went to a few of my friends, my close friends here and back east, and I went to my daughter too, and I was like, hey, what are some weaknesses that you know, or some things that you know about me that I can do better and work on?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, my 10-year-old daughter gave me some stuff, boy. She ain't hold back. So
She's your daughter, isn't she?
you're right, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna tell you, and she told me, and that stuff is good to hear because, like you said, that's sound advice, right? And it's something you don't. It's uncomfortable to take in at times, but man, did it help me? And it's just like, okay, these are things that I need to work on. Yeah. These are things that I want to work on.
What were some of those things?
Oh, well, for Maddie, it was it was your intensity sometimes, like it comes off as anger. And I was like, oh. And she was like, sometimes when you're talking to me and you're intense, it sounds like you're mad with me. And when she said that, like obviously I go back and I start playing it, different dialogue that I've had with different people at different times, and like, did I sound like that? Yep, I sure did. I sure did.
Yeah.
And I go back to conversation I've had with her, whether we're just trying to get out the house, because I hate being late. Oh. Right? I showed up
and
here.
You're like, I'm going to be 2 minutes late.
Yo, and I'm frazzled, and I'm just, and I don't like it. So, like, I try to give myself enough time, but obviously I'm human, and it doesn't work out. But, yeah, it's, you know, it's, then I get intense, and it's more so like, hey, I just want to get out and get to where I'm supposed to be because it's a time thing. Versus like I'm angry right now. Yeah. Like anger is not even close to the emotion that I'm feeling right now, right? So, so it's always good to hear that. And then one of my friends was like, "Hey, you let things like compile, and they just build up, and then you have a moment. And sometimes that moment is you're silent. Sometimes that moment comes out in like anger, which is rare because he was like, I've rarely seen you like angry, but the silence though, he's like, I could tell something's bothering you. It's like family, work, like these things will compile on top of each other, and then so what I started doing is I was like, all right, these things don't get the opportunity to compile. Yeah. Like if it's something I can control, I control it. If I can't, no. You know, or I tell people like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't give you what you currently need right now. I'm here as a sounding board. I could be a sounding board, but I cannot like give you advice right now. Like, you know, or I can't engage in this. Yeah. It's too much. Yeah. So setting new boundaries around certain things, you know, which is starting to be a benefit in a lot of ways. Yeah. You know, I feel a little bit lighter. Oh, that's you know, good. In a lot of ways, you know, still dealing with crap, right? Because I feel like everybody's dealing with something these days, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Well, they say that setting boundaries is really a form of being able to protect the relationship. So if you're not setting boundaries with someone, but it's possible that you're not showing as much care towards the relationship. Right. But to say, hey, I would love to help you. I am just exhausted right now, or I can't help right now in the best way that I would like to. So if we can revisit this in a couple days or, whatever, like, that helps say, you're important to me. I want to circle back to this. I just can't do it right now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Because I would find myself like in relationships, like with women, I just be like, all right, like whatever, just kind of roll with the punches. And then they just do whatever they want. And then it compiles and it builds and builds and builds and builds, right?
Yeah.
And then I just like, I go silent. And then it's a shift.
Yeah.
And they would recognize it. So.
Yeah, and that's frustrating as a woman.
Oh,
what do you mean everything's fine and then all of a sudden it's not? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to work with that?
Right. 100%. So, yeah. So now I've learned, right? And so, yeah, like you said, like you got to have like a good core of people where you can get that feedback from, that advice, and trust that they're giving you like good sound advice to help and support you. So, yeah, that'd be hard just hearing that from your partner all the time. Because man, sometimes you don't want to hear. You will accept stuff from friends and family. You just don't want it coming from your partner right now.
Well, so it's good that they have other people to talk to.
Yeah,
right?
I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've never experienced it, right? Because I've always kind of had that, but like thinking about it now, like wow, that'd be tough for sure.
So while we're kind of on the topic, what is your conflict style? Like, how do you handle conflict?
Well, now like it's going to be a conversation. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I'm taking away from it. Is this how you're meaning it? So I'm searching for communication and understanding of like this is what I took away from whatever the situation may be, and is this how you meant for me to receive? Like your actions or your words or whatever. So it's a So I would, conflict is, I think, it's funny because I was just having this conversation yesterday. Oh, man, I am not an avoidant when it comes to conflict. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I hope people in the Northwest don't get upset with me, but I feel like that's generally a trait here is avoidant. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And man, like
they will lay into you.
They're gonna tell you how they feel. And sometimes it can be in a negative way, right? Yeah. So I'm not here to promote negative conflict, like resolution. But it's like, hey, we can have a conversation about stuff. Like we're gonna disagree. We're two different people trying to come together and do life together. Like we're not going to see it the same way. It's easy when we see it the same way,
right?
But majority of the time, we're just not going to see it the same way, and that's okay. It's just I should respect the way you see it and hear you and try to understand where you're coming from, and support you, and then vice versa, right? So I'm more so now of like let's talk about this and let's figure it out. To then, if this comes up again, then we have some ways to like, we know we can create a safe space to like breeze through this conflict in probably like 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, 2 days, versus letting some linger for a week, 2 weeks. Man, growing up, it used to be sweeping under the rug. I refuse to do that.
Yeah.
Like anybody that I have a problem with, I'm telling you, like you gonna know. Because at some point I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm just not a sweep it under the rug guy. I can't do it. So it's like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's figure it out. And if we can't figure it out, that's okay. Sometimes it might just be like this is where we end, and that's fine. There's no malice on my part.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the other person, and that's okay. Sometimes a relationship ends and they cycle through. But I would say, I'm more so of let's talk about this. Let's figure it out. And if we can't figure it out, sometimes it's just like our time passed, and that's okay. I've had situations where not just intimate relationships with women, but just friendships. Mm-hmm. It was just like, hey, it was for a season, and that's all right, and we just moved on. Yeah. What about you? I want to hear this.
My conflict style?
Yes, Miss Polk. I want to hear this.
You have seen some of my conflict style. A few years ago, I've evolved. It's so funny. So where you said you had reached out to some friends to see, or friends and family, just to get their input on like what you could work on. Mm-hmm. So I similarly did the same thing. I just posted about it on Instagram. I did a reel, and basically looking for like my pros and cons, like the pros and cons of dating me. And
I saw that.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the cons being, one of my friends, when she sent it, I was like, oh, it's fine. But she said, like, that I insist on responding or having the last word with people who don't deserve my energy. And I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to say anything right now. I mean, she deserves my energy. She's my friend. But, I wasn't insisting on having the last word necessarily. Well, maybe. But, just that I am getting better at, I will say. And there was a situation last year that it's kind of trickled into this year. Like, there was no relationship. There wasn't, like, a situationship. It just was like, I like this person, but we are in very close proximity to each other, and I wasn't really sure if this was necessarily going to like potentially evolve to like, okay, we can like actually date, and then we can, see about our relationship, whatever. But we would hang out occasionally, and like that was nice, and we enjoyed each other's time, but like nothing happened, there wasn't like anything sexual or whatever. And so when I would see them in like our group settings, we would kind of flirt and banter, and then we go about our separate ways, and then see each other again, flirt, banter, whatever.
Right.
So fast forward to the end of last year, and we hung out, and I'm like, hey, like we actually enjoy hanging out with each other. Like, why don't we do that more? Or like reach out to each other, whatever. And I got this real shitty response saying like, oh, he's been busy. It was just like a very fuckboy response, like, you're busy. Like, everybody's fucking busy, but you know what I'm saying? You make time for the things that you want to do. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Yeah. But so that was kind of like the nail in the coffin for me. But then fast forward to the beginning of us like getting together again and in these group settings. And I was like not confident what was happening with somebody else, but I did realize this other person was coming around. And then people are telling me like just in passing, like, oh yeah, so-and-so and so-and-so. And I was like, what? Or like so-and-so and so-and-so, they did this at such and such and da-da-da, which was like a couple weeks after the last time I saw him. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it now, like that's fine. I'm seeing people. Well, I'm not really. I'm trying to see people. I'm trying to date and see people. And, we're all welcome to do whatever. But there wasn't that transparency with me, which was really hurtful. Yeah. And so throughout, this time, and I keep seeing them, and I'm just like, my God. Like, so it was like bothering me a bit, Mm-hmm. And so then finally a couple weeks ago, I finally decided, you know what, I got to just say something. I'm like, I called them aside, and I was like, hey, I don't necessarily intend to have like a full conversation about this. I just need to share something with you. Yeah. Ever since last year, I have felt incredibly uncomfortable around you. Yeah. I've gotten much better recently, but it's really a challenge for me to be around someone who, like, for me, I've just never felt as disrespected and disregarded than this. Yeah. And especially by someone that I know and have rapport with for years. Like, I've known this person for years. And so my feelings were hurt about that they couldn't be transparent with me. The other person, that's like inconsequential. I don't care about the other person.
Right.
It was more so that it seemed like they were being put in my face in a way.
Right.
And their relationship is put in my face. And that was really challenging for me. And not something that I want to be around when, come to find out months later that, oh, okay, so, you got what you wanted from this other person. I wasn't giving you that. So maybe that's why you decided to move forward with that person and like disregard me, But whatever the case may be, it was still hurtful from someone who I've, been knowing for a long time and stuff. And we've, had all these conversations, and I shared my insecurities and my fears, like in like very transparent conversations about it and stuff. So it was just really disappointing. Mm-hmm. And this would be one of those instances where, like I recognize that the action behind what he was doing or not doing to simply reach out to me should say enough. And it would be had I never seen this person ever again.
Right.
But to be around each other so frequently, and I mean like multiple times a week.
Right.
For the most part, like at least like once, if not twice or so a week. And that gets uncomfortable where I'm like, you like normally if somebody does me dirty like that, you don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
For better or worse, you don't exist to me. And I'm moving on with my life. And then this instance, it just was like constantly there. And I'm like, my God, like this is annoying. So anyway, the response was, I noticed like, you weren't interacting with me or like really communicating with me like normal. And I could tell, something was up and I did you wrong. Like I should have, said something to you, but I'm really bad at communicating. And like, even with friends and family that I care about go ahead.
That was him saying that to you.
He was saying that to me. And I was like, well, you're clearly not that bad at communicating if you can sustain a relationship. Truly, like you can't be that bad, right? Like, so anyway, my point being that realistically, sure, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, shouldn't have said anything. But I did because it had been bothering me enough, like not as bad as it had been when I first found out. Because like, frankly, I would have rather have known at the end of last year, hey, I really enjoy hanging out with you. Let's just continue being in our group settings and just be friends.
Right.
And that be it. Instead of finding out at restart the group setting and then it's in my face and I'm having to fucking Blue's Clues it all together. That is what like really pissed me off. Frankly.
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't have time to process in the, several months of a break between these group settings. I had no time to process on my own, right? Like just to like sit with me. I could have used the winter to do that. Right. So.
No. So, yes, you needed closure too. Yeah. Like that was closure. But and sometimes we get closure, sometimes we don't. Right. And I think closure is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Right? Like it just helps us to like just move forward.
Right.
So I think it's important for us to have that. But man, that's frustrating.
It was incredibly frustrating.
And as a guy, I'm gonna tell you, like I've done that. No, not necessarily that per se, but to like basically instead of closed out, like I remember I just ghosted. And my homegirl Shay, when you watch this episode, shout out Shay. Oh boy, hi, Shay keeps me in line, boy. Yeah. And Shay was like, no, like that's wrong. Like you can't do that. Like, and it took me like a month, and I walked it back. Like I texted that girl after a month. Like I ghosted her for a whole month. Then I texted her.
She probably went through all the hoops and loops and
I apologized. And I'm like, yo, like I was out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize like what I was doing.
Yeah.
And she knew who Shay was because every woman that I talk to is going to know who Shay is. Yeah. Like it's just what it is. Like that's my homie.
Yeah.
And I was like, she had to like check me, and and so that's why it's if you can provide closure or transparency with somebody, do it. Yeah. It's helpful, And then, you know, it's funny, a couple years later, I turned around and I got ghosted. And boy,
How did that feel?
That did not feel good.
Right.
Right?
It sucks.
It sucks. And so then I had to just pick up the pieces by myself. That person never came back around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just picked it up and I just moved on. But still, like, it's just, you know, like, I agree, man. Like, yo, like, just say something. And I hate that part of dating culture because that happens a lot to where people just won't, like, just have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
They just, like, just stop. Or they try to, like, let you off in a very nice way. And it's just like...
They make it worse.
Yeah, it's condescending.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what this man told me a few weeks ago? He was like, you know, he apologized and whatever. I didn't say it was okay because it's not okay. Like,
Right.
it's fucked up, frankly. But he was like, yeah, you know, I should have just been transparent with you and just told you, you know, you weren't what I was looking for long term and da-da-da. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, why would you say that to me? But I realize he doesn't actually realize what he said or how, frankly, that can be offensive. Like, I wasn't what you wanted long term. And then he continues on to say, he's like, you know, you're a proper lady, like, you're intelligent, you're beautiful, you've got your life together. And I'm like, well, that's kind of insulting to who you're with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know her well. Like, we've interacted a little bit. But, I mean, she seems nice enough. I don't know. But, like... It's like a backhanded compliment, but it's the emotional intelligence in me that's like, that's not right. That's not okay. But meanwhile, like, the ignorance is bliss is like, yeah, you weren't really what I wanted long term, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I tell you, my last situation, it was short-lived. We dated for, maybe like 2 months or something like that. And... Like I didn't meet this person on the app. Like I met him out, right?
Cool.
And what was funny though, like I went out with my buddy and I was planning on like hooking him up, and then her and I started talking, and then just talking about like we started talking about some like mindfulness stuff, and then we just connected. So then we went to breakfast and all this stuff. Fast forward, here we are now, like we're dating, and then the infatuation kind of wears off a little bit, and it wears off kind of early. But then, like, I noticed a shift
from her. Wait, for both of you, infatuation fell off. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just like, all right, like I like this person, and I'm in a different space, so it's not like, oh, this is going to be hard work, or I don't really want to do this, or anything like that. It was like, I'm leaning in. And I could feel the shift. And I said something. So I said something. I'm like,
What'd you say?
Hey, like I noticed like some change, and like we're not hanging out or talking as much, like, like everything okay? And of course I got hit with the I'm busy, and stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then like, those morning texts and stuff, like they just became later in the day. They became afternoon.
Good
texts,
evening.
Right? Like, So I'm just like, all right, like I already know. Like, man, I'm not new to this. Like, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
And so I called it out. And I was calling it out to say, hey, I noticed this. I understand that you're a very busy individual, like, and I know what I'm signing up for and what I was signing up for, because we had these conversations, prior to saying like, let's give this a run, and then from there it was just I was more so wanting just to have a conversation and say, hey, let's shift it. Like, you're busy right now, like we're not going to be able to see each other in person as much. Let's just shift it to like having phone calls and like, kind of just still like just building that emotional side of it. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a phone call. She called me and I was at work. And I happened to be with a coworker. So I didn't really want to get into the conversation. And so then she asked me like, is everything okay? And I was like, yep, everything's fine. Clearly everything's not fine, right?
Yeah.
And And she heard it, and she says, she called me out on it. And I was like, but at the time, I didn't want to have the conversation. I was like, but then she was willing to have a conversation later. And I was like, okay, like, let's have a conversation later. We ended up not having that conversation.
Really?
And it ended up breaking up, like, through text, right?
Oh, yeah.
We ended up just ending it through text, which is, like, it was fine.
Yeah.
The thing is that I recognized it, and I was just coming. I was like, hey, let's find a solution. That was going to be my intentions. But that wasn't necessarily her intentions. And then I got hit with you're a great guy. You did nothing wrong. You're perfect. And I'm like, man, miss me with all that bullshit. Like, I'm out. I'm good. Yeah. And it took me a little bit, but then I just moved on. And, like, obviously you pick yourself up and you just move on. It's like, all right, well, on to the next. And you try not to as much. You try not to burn the next person.
Right.
With the old person's, stuff.
Yeah.
So try to give them a fair shake. So, yeah, it happens. I mean, I think it's more so like if you are recognizing that or one person's recognizing that, just share and just be like, hey, I was in this and something's changed right now.
Yeah.
So it shifted and just have a conversation around it. You don't have to you don't need to feed me the lines of like, you're a great person, all this. I don't need to hear that. I know I'm a great person.
See, that's why I think it's beneficial. I'm more so now, like, considering this, but also I haven't. Anyway, that's a story for another time. I think it's beneficial to have multiple people you're dating in a sense, not sleeping with everybody.
All right.
Just having like, okay, cool. I've got 2 or 3 people that I'm interested in. We go on dates, maybe we hang out, and over time, let that 2-3 month crazy crown. Like whether it comes on or not. Yeah. And then you get to determine, oh, okay, actually, no, I really like this person. And then you get to focus on this one person. Whereas like what I have done too many times, you've seen it, where I put all my eggs in one basket and I'm really into this person. My apps are paused or deleted or, you know what I mean? Like I'm turning down people who actually hit on me in the street and now I can't get anybody to hit on me anywhere. Anyway, so just being able to just have the options there and, for a few months. And again, it's not like you're sleeping with everybody. It's just to be able to give yourself the discernment that you need, not to be like, this is the one person, I'm focused on them. The infatuation, that stays until it's gone. You know what I mean? It's more like, okay, I like this person, but I also like this from this person. And, oh, actually, maybe this doesn't work with this person, but I have somebody else and I have another person does that make sense? Like in a calm way, not a like, well, fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, not like that.
Yes. I will say, all right, yes. And that works. More so, if doing it like you're saying, that works for women. It does not work for men.
Really?
Yeah, the perception is then we're sleeping with everybody. He's a player. He's
well,
that.
You don't have to tell people. I can understand the perception.
It's a small town. We live in Idaho.
I know, but I don't think
everybody knows everybody here.
Right.
It's
which
2
is
degrees
scary.
of separation.
It's scary. But I don't think you need to be like telling like that.
Yeah, you don't need to tell them.
Because it's not their business.
But they're going to find out.
Yeah,
because, somebody they know is probably going to see you out with somebody else on a date. And, what if they're more into you than you are into them? Because they've just created this fantasy in their brain.
Because they're not dating other people.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if everybody were to be, just like I say casually, but not sexually, casually, just dating other people, seeing other people, like keeping your options open, keep on the apps just so that people are not fixating on one person and then their brain is stuck there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I think, like making it known, trying to date other people and figuring that stuff out before you say, all right, I'm going to lock in with this one person. I think that's a great concept. I think it's hard to carry out, especially as a guy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've had my run and all that stuff here in Idaho, but it's, and sometimes I've done it in, I don't know, where some would probably deem it as a bad way or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But but I also try to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And, there were times that I was just like, the assumption or the judgment was, oh, you're this type of guy. Like, and I'm like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
Or you might have heard something about me. Like, when did that last person really talk to me?
Yeah.
Like, 6 months ago? I'm not that same person.
Yeah.
Like, people grow, stuff like that. So as a guy though, there's a lot more flack, and like, I mean, and if we keeping it a buck,
Keep it
like,
a buck.
Black guys, man, like, it's almost like if you semi-attractive, and I'm not saying I'm
You're
a great-looking guy. Yeah, I'm all right. But like, you're going to be deemed as, like, especially here in Boise, Idaho, you're going to be deemed as this player, right? That you just running around, sleeping around town with all these women. And I'm like, no, first of all, STDs alone will keep me in check. I'm not doing that because I don't want nothing. Right? Like, I'm good.
Yeah. I think most people are too.
I'm 40, man. Like, I'm too old to be catching anything out here. Like, I'm good. I don't want that. So, but the perception is that you're doing something. Like, if you're dating and you're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to date to just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I would be down for that plan.
Yeah.
I don't think it will work for me personally.
Yeah. In theory, it's good. In execution, it might be
man,
questionable. Okay.
Yeah.
I receive that. What are men's biggest fears in dating?
Oof, man, I don't know. I can't speak for every guy.
You're speaking for America.
Oh boy.
Speak for yourself. What are your biggest fears?
Fears in dating? I think ending up with, all right. I would say probably one of the biggest fears is just ending up with somebody that is crazy.
Oh, well. Yeah.
No. Like, legit crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no guy wants that. Like, we all a little off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
you want someone who's cray you can accept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works
who's
on your
cray,
level.
Not crazy.
Yeah. That can work on your level. Everyone got their tolerance of what they can deal with.
Right.
It's all different. I think the biggest fear, all right, to put it this way, is like, the biggest fear is trying to make a relationship work with someone that is outside of your tolerance of what you really can deal with.
Yeah.
As a person. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the biggest fear, because of all the negativity that can come with it.
Yeah.
Right, all the drama. Like, for me as a guy, like, I don't like to do drama. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be arguing and fighting with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be yelling.
No.
Like, if that's the case, man, like, and you that type of person, like, I am not the person for you. And it's, even with me being a growth-minded person, like, I have dated women in the past 2 years or so that have, like, got me out of my character, like, completely got me out of my character while I'm yelling at them. I'm like, yo, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that happened to me last year with my ex, and what I realized about that is that I was angry with myself. Right. I was angry with myself for tolerating all the things that were happening up until that point. And so that, like, sort of explosion was because I was so mad at myself, and my animosity and resentment was shown towards this person who was the source of part of the situation, Yeah. So I get it. Like, and the second that happens, when I get pulled out of my character, and it is very, 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 very rare for me to explode.
Yeah.
It is incredibly rare. Yeah. And for me to get to that point, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Like, teenage Donna was like that, for sure.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I too have evolved, I'm not that person. So yeah, that was frustrating for me. So before we wrap up, we're going to keep it a buck.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Is the real reason you and I have never dated because I dated one of your friends?
No. Remember, we went on 2 dates before that.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who said we should be friends.
Yeah. and I was cool with it. Like, and I think it worked out the best way.
Yeah.
You know, no. I've never dated I've never dated a woman that's dated my friends or knowingly that I'm like dating my friends. So, I mean, that would probably be a transition or something I got to like figure out or process and stuff. But no, I think you know what happened. Our friendship evolved.
Well, if we start from the beginning, I wasn't in the best place.
When we went on a date? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
I wasn't in the best place because of an awful relationship I had just gotten out of. Oh. Yeah. And so I was trying to get out there and just like see what's around, you know, like try and occupy my mind in different ways. Yeah. But I legit was like, no, I want to be friends with you. Like, not on some like bullshit, like, okay, you have a nice life, but I'm saying let's be friends. Not like that. Yeah.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've said, you know, it's funny because I've said that to women.
Yeah.
Right. And I've meant it. Yeah. Just like how you meant it to me. And I think we tried and then it just fizzled out. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't my intention. My intention was to be friends. Yeah. And there has been some cases where it has worked out. Mm-hmm. You being one of them. You know, there's another one, like, you know, we dated and like we're friends now. Yeah. Like, you know, and so it can work. I don't like, our relationship now, man, like I would hate to mess that up.
Yeah,
because
no,
like it's
I agree.
A friendship, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, man, because if we dated and it didn't work, man, I'd never talk to you again.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, you said keep it a buck. I would not talk to you again.
Why?
Because I don't know if it would end well.
Why would it not end well?
And how do you go back to a friendship?
In the same, okay, oh. I will give you this. I will give you this, that it probably is different to revert back to a friendship with someone that you have dated. Like, I don't know. I see people do it often, but I think the difference is like, if you start with a friendship and then you date and then realize you're better off friends, to me, that is a different sort of segue than you meet someone with the intention of dating them and then you date them and then things break off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a case to say, like, we should date. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, like, just generally speaking, I think that, like, to me, in my mind, because of the history that we have and the way that we have, like, that we generally communicate and the way that we, like, approach situations from our understandings of, you know, our prior relationships, that would actually make sense.
Well, I'm saying if it ended, I don't think it ends well. Right? Maybe not. We'll never know. But that's the risk that I would not want to take, right? Because I value the friendship so much.
Yeah, that's legit.
And for me, you know what it is? I have women friends, and I have platonic friendships. Like I'm not looking to get like. I'm not in the background just scheming and waiting, and like looking for an opportunity. Like I promise you, I'm not. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like, so like I really enjoy the conversation. I enjoyed their perspective, like, and I enjoy that they're just good humans that I enjoy spending and being around. You know. So, and I'm like, so I don't care your gender in that space. If you cover like these bases for me, it's just like, yo, let's be friends and let's figure it out. Yeah. You know, and so like I would hate to ruin that. Yeah. Or complicate it. You know, more so complicated.
Because then when things get complicated, man, like, because I've done it before, and it's just like, and then it went left, and I've done it more than once.
Oh,
Right,
you're speaking from experience.
From experience.
Yeah, I've never
and so it's
done
like
that
that's one of those experiences I just let like, all right.
That makes sense. It's an experience that shapes like your next move. Kind of thing,
and it's just like, and when you value someone, right? Like, I would never want to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I value my friends. I value my relationships. You know, like my intention is never to hurt somebody. So, I would want to keep it. I would always want to just keep it good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on to the podcast.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. This was fun.
Talking me into doing this.
Yes, you're welcome.
I was saying no.
I know. I'm happy to talk you into it another time if you're down.
Sure.
Thank you, Hill.
Thank you, Donna.
Yay.
I appreciate
Give
you.
me a hug.
Yeah.